One question people ask is, what type of stem cells are effective for regenerative medicine? Now, I'm talking about specifically for mesenchymal stem cells. So mesenchymal stem cells is two sources. One is the bone marrow, and then the other ones are from the umbilical cord. Now, the bone marrow ones are extremely powerful, and they are used predominantly for very advanced therapies such as in leukemia, and it's not what I would recommend for regenerative medicine because the power of those stem cells, they're too potent for basic regenerative stuff. It can get your body out of whack. So I recommend obviously the umbilical cord sourced mesenchymal stem cells. Within umbilical cord mesenchymal stem cells, there are various grades. So what happens is that you take the stem cells from the umbilical cord, you take away all the extra tissues, you clean out the red blood cells, and you really isolate the stem cells. Then you go through a process of culturing those stem cells, because those stem cells are still, they're not homogenized. So the first replication is passage 1. You take the stem cells that you've taken out of the umbilical cord and you culture it, and those cells divide once. That's passage 1. When those cells divide twice, that's passage 2. And then passage 3 and 4 and 5, so forth. So what happens is that the stemness or the effectiveness, the regenerative power of the stem cells starts to diminish as you start to replicate them further and further and further down the line. However, it's also not good to not replicate them and have it too early in the cycle, because those cells are not quite differentiated properly, they're not homogenized. So what I suggest and what data suggests is passage number 2, when it's also replicated twice, is when it's homogenized enough that those stem cells are ready and very, very effective. And then, passage 4, 5, 6 is also fine, but the stemness will start to reduce and the effectiveness will start to reduce the more passages you go down, more replications you go down. Now, another thing that people say a lot is, I provide fresh stem cells. There is no such thing as fresh stem cells, first of all. You cannot take the stem cells directly from the umbilical cord and inject it into a person. It's not safe. Even at passage 2, the umbilical cord, once it's clean, it has to be frozen, and then when it's ready for application, it's taken out. So when somebody says, I'm doing fresh stem cells, it's hogwash. It's not fresh stem cells in that regard. So fresh versus frozen stem cells is just a marketing gimmick. Anyways, I hope this helped.